Well, welcome back to Got the Magnets. I'm Joe, along with my wife Sue. Even though you can't see us, we've been publishing some raw road trip where we just stick our GoPro and point at the traffic and publishing that from time to time. We're going to try something new where you're going to ride along with us.
Turn right.
So right now, we're leaving Melbourne, Florida, where, if you've been following us, before our trip to Spain, we had some transmission issues.
Turn right onto West New Haven Avenue, then make a U-turn at Lago Circle.
We've had some transmission issues, so we've been staying at a hotel across the street from Melbourne Subaru, where the car was recently repaired, and that you should be seeing that in your screen right now. And I do have to say they were very good, kept us informed.
To make a U-turn at Lago Circle.
We had a loaner for the entire time they had our car, and now I see why they give us loaners, because it was a 2026 Subaru Outback,
turn right to merge onto I-95 North.
and it was very nice. It made driving this 2014 Subaru seem like driving a car that was over 10 years old, because it is over 10 years old. So this would be a good opportunity to invite you to like and subscribe to this video, so in the near future we can afford to buy a new car. Well, anyway, we're headed.
Pass this light, then at the next one, turn right.
We're headed towards Merritt Island Nature Reserve.
Right. Use the right lane to merge onto I-95.
And as you can see, we have a co-pilot, but she should be quiet soon. So it's about an hour-long drive. So we'll bring you along with it, and we'll just be chatting amongst ourselves. Sometimes there might be some quiet periods where you can just enjoy the sound of the road. And so, for those of you who have never driven I-95, oh, it's fun. This actually is one of the more subdued parts of I-95. And if you notice me be quiet every once in a while,
For about 39 miles, continue straight.
I have trouble turning and speaking at the same time. So I don't like to be distracted as far as driving. So the plan for today is we're going to be hitting the Merritt Island Nature Reserve, see what we see up there. We're going to get there around 8 a.m. because, it gets hot in Florida in the summer, spoiler alert. And that's usually the most active time for wildlife. Before they get hot, they take care of their daily activities. And then after that, probably spend 2 to 3 hours there. And then we're going to head north, and we're spending the night in Kingsland, Georgia, which is right over the Florida-Georgia border. And the plan for the next 2 days is we're probably going to see the Folkestone Funnel, which is a place where all the trains coming from Florida have to pass through. And it's one of those that's on every rail fan's bucket list. I've watched the webcam many a time, and this has been on my list, so this opportunity is here. And then I wish I had a camera in my background because somebody wants to ride up my butt. So I will be commenting on the other drivers. And my microphone did fall off, so I'm waiting for a safe spot to return it to my seat belt. Apparently it wasn't clipped tight enough. So Merritt Island is close to Port Canaveral and Cape Canaveral. It's in that same general area. And again, if you follow in the channel, we spent some time in Port Canaveral before the cruise, and then our car spent a lot of time in Port Canaveral during our cruise because we'd originally planned to leave the car with a friend's house in Tampa, but we didn't want to drive it cross state, so we parked it for a month and then dealt with it after we got back. So it turned out it was the valve body for the transmission, which, based on all the indications, that was the most likely scenario. It was around $3,000. It was on the borderline whether to get it fixed or not, but we're not ready to buy a newer car yet. Still need to finalize the plans for the rest of the year. So, you still with me?
No.
Yeah, I guess I forgot something.
And what did we do last night?
We went to watch loggerhead turtles bury their eggs. So we were having dinner at a restaurant the other night, Meg O'Malley's, and if you're ever in the Melbourne area, it was recommended by several people. Oh, it lives up to the hype. It was very good Irish bar, and they had every TV turned on for soccer, for the football for the World Cup finals. So that was good. But anyway, so we searched it, and there's a reserve in the area. It was about a half-hour drive from the hotel. It's the Archie Carr, like, wildlife refuge, and it's a protected ground where different species of turtles come to lay their eggs. And we're right in, being in June, it's right in the heart of the nesting season. So, do you want to describe a little bit about the evening?
It was an evening tour around 8:45, and it was pretty cloudy, I would say.
Oh yeah, it had just rained before. While we were having dinner, the skies opened up. It was a Florida thunderstorm, and we could see lightning in the distance.
But while we were doing the tour, it was still lightning, but it was far away from us. And they took us to a room and told us about how they lay eggs and what the refuge does. And they do some research throughout the year about how many eggs they lay, and lots of research. And they do support other people doing the research also. UCF is one of them.
Yeah, University of Central Florida, based in Orlando. So
they communicate with each other with walkie-talkies, and there's a team called Scouts. While we're in the classroom, they're out there searching to see if there's any turtles walking up on the shore line. And they do watch the turtle tracks and see if they come up on shore, and they dig a hole with their, depends on what turtles they are, they dig holes in front of their legs or the back of their legs for the most part. The loggerheads does the back of the legs. And we saw one yesterday, and it was pretty deep. I think they said that she did lay eggs, but we didn't see them.
Yeah, it's hard to see at night. They do use a red light so that you can at least see what's going on. But there were about 20 of us. about 20 of us, gathered around watching the turtle, and it's pitch black out there, especially being cloud cover. There wasn't much, natural light. So, but I believe that they did say that she did lay the eggs before she returned to the sea. She was there a while, so we all got, watched her pack that. And this isn't something you can legally do on your own because they are a protected species. You need a guide, and one of the things they did warn us is they only are permitted to do one loggerhead nesting a night. So I think they said greenbacks and leatherbacks are also in the area. Yeah, so we're not allowed to watch, they're not allowed to show us them, and then there's only one loggerhead a night. So if the loggerhead gets spooked and runs back, well, that blows the opportunity for the night. It is very tightly restricted, so that's why you need to book a tour. This is approved by the government agencies, and they do have a permit on it. There's a lot of restrictions, like we needed to wear long pants and long sleeves, and we should have really covered ourselves with a lot more off because we did get some bites on us last night. But it was fun. It was tough. It's tough walking on a beach generally with the powdery sand. Mix that with after a heavy rainstorm and being pitch black. And it wasn't level sand, so you'd be walking and all of a sudden there'd be a 6 to 8 inch drop that would surprise you. But all in all, it was a good time. Got back to the hotel, a little before midnight?
Yes.
So
there's no photography, no flash photography, because you can spook them, and they'll just run off if.
So they did let us know that they are going to be sending us a picture they take with an infrared camera that has their permit number on it. Because if you do this on your own and you take a picture and you publish it, they really can come after you because you are violating the protection of the species, because they don't want this tourism to discourage the natural breeding. So these guides are well trained, and it could take anywhere from an hour to find one up to 2 or 3 hours. I know they were talking Saturday night they had a bunch, and they didn't get back done until almost midnight.
And they do have day tours, but it's from September to November or something like that. So you would have to check out their website.
Yeah, and we'll put in the link in the description when we publish this. So, while we're doing this, remember to subscribe. That way we can get this going. Let us know if you have any questions about anything we've done, where we're going, about us, because we're going to be driving over the next couple weeks. We're heading back to Pennsylvania. Have a couple doctor's appointments, couple personal things we need to take care of. For those of you who know, we are originally from the Philadelphia area, but we've been full-time traveling since September. Then after that, we're going to head out to Western Pennsylvania for a couple days. We're going to visit the Altoona, where go to the Horseshoe Curve, where it's another rail fan mecca. A lot of people, go there. We went there about a year and a half ago on our way to Indianapolis, and it was a lot of fun. It was raining, and it really wasn't the best day, so hopefully we'll get a little nicer weather. We are there in Altoona for a couple days. We are going to get tickets to see the Altoona Curve, which is a minor league baseball team. I believe it's AA. I want to say they're affiliated with the Pirates, but I may be wrong on that. And then from there, we're going to head out to Chicagoland, for the NASCAR race. If you've been following the channel, we're big NASCAR fans. So far this year, we've been to Darlington and Daytona. We went to a bunch of races earlier last year. And we have a couple planned up for the latter part of this year. Originally, we were supposed to be in San Diego for the race this weekend, but logistically, it didn't make sense. But then from Chicagoland, we're going to be going to Iowa, Colorado, the Dakotas, a lot of the Plains states. And we do have a cruise to Alaska booked for August after the Toastmasters International Convention in Vancouver. So we do have a lot of plans. So we're going to be pretty much driving across the country, the northern tier of the country. And so hopefully you're enjoying these videos, and we'll bring more of them. And again, the way to let us know is put questions and comments in the chat section of it, and we'll answer them, because as you can tell, we have plenty of time to talk. And again, I'm the talker in the relationship. Tips on things to see in Iowa. Things to see in Iowa, Colorado, the Dakotas. Give us your tips, because let's go. You want to go? You want to go? And this is aggressive driving. He's in such a hurry. Well, you can all see from his license plates, if you know him, tell him I say hello. And this is the fun stuff you're going to get. Transmission seems to be working out well. And in case you can't tell, we're doing about 80 miles an hour, which I guess is slightly over the speed limit, but I don't think it's reckless, especially on 95. So we have about 20 more miles to go on 95. Let's see if we can get over.
Not really that cold anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, the air conditioning has been working intermittently. We don't have time really to get it checked out until we get home. So hopefully my mechanic can take a look at it and figure out if it's something that's a quick repair or something we're going to need to suffer through until we have time to get it repaired.
I just need it. You might just need free, huh?
Yeah. again, if you have any questions, that'll help tide us over during these long stretches where we don't have anything to talk about. We can answer some of your questions, comments. We can let you know, we just got back from Spain. We took a 2-week cruise on Explorer of the Seas from Port Canaveral to Barcelona. And on the way, we stopped in the Azores, Cadiz, Cartagena, Malaga, and Mallorca. In Mallorca, we didn't get off the ship. So we got to see a couple of cities in Spain before we got off the ship. Barcelona, we spent a week in. Explored. We took a couple of day trips. We actually went up to Andorra and France. And Andorra, it's one of the smallest countries in the world. I want to say it's the 3rd smallest in Europe. And it's basically right on the border between Spain and France. It's one of the richest countries in the world. And it was a nice little day trip. We can at least knock another country off of our list. We did a lot with Gaudi. We did not go to see Sagrada Familia. We had a beautiful view of it from the balcony in our room, but we waited too long to get tickets. But we did some other things there on there. And then we're going to be publishing all that in the next couple days. From there, we went to Ibiza. And I would not recommend, unless you're in your 20s in the partying scene, going to Ibiza. I mean, it's a nice town, have nothing to say about it. Or nothing bad to say about it. But just there's much nicer beaches. I would have rather spent the time in Barcelona or Valencia. And then, we did go to a football match over there. There was a lot of fun. It's their minor league. It's the 3rd tier of Spanish football. And it was really a good time, had great seats. From there, we went to Valencia, which I think Valencia was my favorite. It was they have a beach section, which is a gorgeous beach overlooking the Mediterranean. They have an old town section, and then they also have, it's a modern city with the arts and science area, which is it's absolutely a beautiful area. You can just walk around. Definitely want to go back there. From there, we went to Granada, Cordoba, and Sevilla, where we saw a lot of, things dating back to the Romans, and including some, really nice churches and that type of thing. And then finished off the trip in Madrid, where we actually got to see the Pope. We were coming out of the subway station, and he was about to come by, so we hung out. So we waited about 10 minutes to see the Pope for 10 seconds. But, it's one of those maybe once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to do that. And we were in the right place at the right time. So definitely planning to go back to Spain again, maybe early next year. It was extremely hot in most of Spain. It was approaching 100 degrees in every city except for Madrid. And then we came back, got the car fixed, and now we're headed north. And one of the problems with doing this is because of copyright, we can't listen to music. Probably make a tape of public domain songs. just let us know where you're going on your summer vacation. Yeah, with this full-time travel, we never go on vacation. We're constantly going places. So we're always up for new things, and we've gotten a lot of good tips from people on places to go. And so we're building a database of things to do. We have a couple things in southern Florida because we're going to be headed there later this year for the NASCAR finale in November. And if we get the technology worked out, maybe we'll do a live stream of one of these drives. I watch a lot of truckers who do live streams or they record their video. That's what gave me the idea for doing this. It's very relaxing just to watch other people drive. So we're about 11 miles before we get off 95. Then we're going to be on a road leading into the Merritt Island Reserve. I really don't know what to expect there. It does come highly recommended by several people. The nature reserve for the turtles we went to last night, they're actually affiliated with Merritt Island. And let's pass. And again, still only doing 80. I don't know if you can tell how fast we're going.
About 10 miles, take exit 220 onto State Road 406 toward Titusville.
We had Culver's one night. Yeah, that's one of the nice things about doing this traveling is we've heard of different restaurants, different chains that aren't in the Philadelphia area. So traveling, we get to see them. So we've tried a bunch of different ones: Culver's, Raising Cane's, Zaxby's, Cheddar's. Yeah, we actually just had dinner at Cheddar's last night. We need to add that Warbird Air Museum to the list. That's the other thing we need to do is figure out what we're going to do between Altoona and Chicago. I know, we may stay outside Chicago for a day and take the train into the city. Because other than the airport, I've been to Chicago once, but it was for a conference, so I really didn't see much. And that's the exit for the Kennedy Space Center. Before we had the transmission issues, that was one of our plans, was to go there, but didn't want to risk driving the car, so we just hunkered down at the hotel. So we will definitely hit that again. We have a wide range of activities, as you can see if you follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We do a lot of different things. Let's see, we're huge NASCAR fans. We've been to, in the last 10 years, we've been to 20, 30 races. We've been to a bunch of different tracks. We love cruising. We have at least 5 more scheduled for later this year. We're annual pass holders at Disney. We spend a good part of the holidays in the Disney area. Again, you're going to tell over the next, rail fanning, watching trains go by, airplanes. When we're in the Philadelphia area, we're staying not too far from the Philadelphia airport, so we may get up early one morning and go watch planes take off and land. We like quirky museums, like the small museums we go to. The big museums also, pretty much any museum. We like going to historic churches. While we were in Spain, I think we hit like 5 or 6 different churches. What else do we like doing? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, Vegas. We do like Vegas. Actually, we were married in Vegas.
Baseball games?
We got going to baseball games, different sporting events. Oh, this is actually one. This will sum up our relationship. We were on a wine tasting when we were in Spain, and we were talking to some people from Australia, and I was saying that I wanted to see rugby down there or Australian rules football or cricket, and they were telling me that a lot of Australians go to Japan to play rugby professionally because it's a huge market. I had never known that before. So across the room, I yelled over to Sue, "Sue, when we go to Japan, we're going to rugby match." And she responded, "Okay." Just because we like doing different things. Oh, Buc-ee's. We're going to definitely hit a Buc-ee's on the way up. For those of you who aren't familiar, Buc-ee's or have never been to Buc-ee's, it's a must-go place. One of those places you cannot describe without going there. People try and compare it to a Walmart, a Wawa. It's a unique animal. It's a travel center for cars. It's a mixture of a Cracker Barrel store, convenience store, hardware store.
Gas station.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Obviously, it's primarily a gas station. And it's fun going in there, watching people come through the door, because you can tell the people who
There for the first time.
Yep. It's sort of like that same look. Picture a little kid the first time they see Santa Claus. It's that same. Oh, and the bathrooms. I would eat off the floor in the bathrooms. They have people whose sole job is to keep the bathrooms clean, and they are immaculate. When you use the toilet, sometimes they're cleaning it before you're even done. And then they also have an art gallery on the way to the bathrooms. So it's definitely make the detour. Stop in there. They're expanding. They started out in Texas. They're very common in Texas. They're really getting into the southeast now. They have a couple due to open in Florida in the next year or two. But there's one outside Florence, South Carolina. There's one near St. Augustine. There's one in Daytona. I know the one in Ocala is either opening late this year or early next year. There's one near Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
2 miles, take exit 220 onto State Road 406 toward Titusville.
And their brisket is really good. And they have like breakfast brisket tacos throughout the day. And they have a really good bakery. But again, just go. Check it out. If you don't want to buy anything, there's no pressure. You can just pop in, use the bathroom, and head out. And the gas pumps, they have like 100 and some gas pumps at each location. So it looks like we're getting off at the exit. Hoping the sound comes out okay on this, because otherwise I've just been talking for the last hour. But it does make the trip go by quickly. I just saw a sign for Kelsey's as a place to eat. We stayed close to there when we were there. really good food. I can't remember what we had, but it was really good.
Lane to take exit 220 onto State Road 406 toward Titusville.
If you're taking a cruise out of Port Canaveral, there's a bunch of hotels not far from there. And then there's some really good restaurants. I mean, you got your Burger King and McDonald's, but there's a lobster roll place that we had stopped at.
Then keep right onto State Road 406 East.
There's a pizza place we went to, and then there's another pizza place close there. Starts with a Z that we didn't stop, but one of the shuttle drivers recommended it. So next time we go, because we do have a cruise in November, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, at Port Canaveral. So we have to figure out what hotel we're going to stay at.
Turn right onto Scrub J Way.
And apologize if the sun just got bright. It's the problem with heading east during the morning. And then back when we're in Philadelphia, we're going to visit the John Hines Memorial Wetlands, which I always refer to as, before it became a wetlands, it was known as the Tinicum Swamp. It was a place that people used to dispose of bodies, let's just say. But it's become a national wildlife sanctuary. I know many people who hike there regularly, and we're staying not too far from there. Oh, there's Kelsey's. That's not the one we went to, but it's a small chain. I think the limo driver said they have like 3 or 4 venues in the area. But definitely, if you're in the Cocoa Beach, Port Canaveral area, check it out. Again, let us know if you have any questions about, cruising out of Port Canaveral. We've done it a couple times, and if we don't know the answer, we'll just make it up. But it's good. And also, staying in Melbourne, you can see how far it is from the port. It's about a half hour, 40 minutes. But if you're looking to come in the night before, it may be worth it because the hotel pricing is about half of what it would be to stay at Port Canaveral. So it may be worth it just to drive that extra little distance. Especially if you're driving. And Melbourne's a nice little town. We drove through there a little bit. Definitely going to be revisiting at some point in the future. Problem with doing this is we find places we love, we'd like to return to, but there's other places we want to check out. So it's like you have to make choices. But I guess it's a good problem to have.
And it kind of reminds me of the New Jersey shoreline.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is we'll end this video when we hit the sanctuary, and then we'll start a new one when we pull in there. And also, if any of you are from Colorado, Illinois, plain states, let us know if there's any good short track, whether it's dirt or asphalt, short track racing, because we're going to be out there for a couple months and like to check some of those tracks out. Uh-oh. Coming up on some railroad tracks. I believe Brightline runs on this, and they've had problems with cars not realizing that the trains win all ties. So there's been a lot of accidents because Florida drivers aren't used to driving with trains, and they don't realize they need to stop. Well, they find out very quickly, let's just say. So down this area, as you can see, gas is $3.79. It varies. Where we were staying, which is only about 4 miles from the beach area, it was around $3.43. So the closer you get to the shoreline, the higher the pricing. So we'll update on gas. South Carolina is historically some of the cheapest gas around. We try and hit gas stations that were members of their loyalty club. With Love's, we get 10% or 10 cents off per gallon. Shell, we get a couple cents off. So we try and sign up for these as much as possible. I think with BP, I signed up, so I have a one-time 25-cent off per gallon. With the gas, sometimes we use a lot, sometimes not so much, because there's days where we'll just travel, especially when we're headed out to the west and back. There are days where we were filling up 3 times a day, and then other times where we were largely stationary and didn't fill up for a week. Coming over. There you go. Now it looks like we're going from the mainland over to the island, hence the bridge. Some of these bridges, you only see the up and it looks like you're going to fall off at the other end of it. So it's going to be a nice day. Oh, the other thing is we need to do a post because I haven't seen much on it, if anything, on social media. Is they're building an aquarium near Port Canaveral. Our shuttle driver was telling about us when we were coming from Orlando to Port Canaveral, but then the wildlife refuge last night, they're going to be part of it. So it's going to be right near the cruise terminal. I think their plans are for it to be ready sometime next year. So, I don't know if you saw the sign, but for the next 5 miles, we have to be on the lookout for wildlife. So, who knows what'll be running across the road.
Yeah, saw a turtle crossing last night.
Yeah, that's one of the things we found out last night was that when the turtles go back to the sea, how they find out is they head towards the brightest thing. So at night, the brightest object is generally the foam from the waves from the ocean. But if there's any lights or anything, they'll be attracted to that. That's why in areas where you have a lot of turtle nesting, they prohibit bright lights because it will cause disorientation, and it's caused some of the turtles to wind up on the road. Okay, push right. Yes, we really have no plan other than coming up, so we're going to see what we can see. And after this, it's about a 3 or 4 hour drive through Jacksonville, which, if you've never driven through Jacksonville, it's quite fun. It's not really a bad because it's not that long, but it's still about 20-25 minutes of intense driving. For that, we'll probably just set up the camera. We won't be doing any talking over it. But let us know what your favorite city to drive through is. Any tougher than others? I think Atlanta is one of the worst. We drove through LA traffic on a cruise last year, and that wasn't as bad as I expected. You know, morning rush hour was a lot of stop and go, but even when it opened up, it wasn't that bad.
Turn right onto Scrub J Way.
Yeah, Philadelphia, you know, having grown up there, I think I'm immune to the Schuylkill Expressway. And, you know, I-95 by the airport, if you're not driving 100 miles an hour, you're going to get run over. So we got the visitor center coming up. I don't know if that opens until 9. So we may just do some driving around before that. But when we come up to the visitor center, I think we're going to
Turn right onto Scrub J Way, then arrive at your destination.
Close this video out. So thanks for joining us. Let us know what you think of the video.
Arrive at Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge.
So again, remember, like, subscribe, check us out on Facebook. Give us some tips on things we should be doing. Ask us any questions about the full-time traveling. And hope to catch you on another trip real soon. Bye. You stop recording or?